Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in case you don't know, this is Day 9 TV, where I'm going to run headfirst into this damn microphone because I'm not used to having one dangling above my head. I have to lock my chair because right now it keeps swinging back. But hold on. In seconds... In seconds, it will be my pleasure to welcome you to Day 9 TV, where today I'm in a great mood, I'm in a grand spirit. I'm currently down at Blizzard Entertainment's primary headquarters in the Irvine, California, where everything is totally... It is seriously the most corporate place you have ever seen in your entire life. Big streets, all the shrubbery is not natural, and the lobbies are outstanding. But I'm super happy because I got to avoid all of Irvine, California, go straight to Blizzard and do the card reveal for 10 cards upcoming in Knights of the Frozen Throne. And I want to talk a little bit about the reveal, and then we're just going to go look at cards, man. We are literally going to look at the 40 cards that are in the game. We actually... Okay, so we got Hearthstone, but I actually am going to want to screen capture the cards. Yeah, so we're going to be reviewing the cards that have thus far been shown, as well as the 10 that were shown this morning. Let me turn myself up a little bit. There we go. There we go. There we go. So, I think it's about 40 cards that are released right now. Let me add this extra screen in. Boom. No, that's not what we want to do. Let me just add the full screen in. Yeah, so the day went a hell of a lot better than the last card reveal. Like, so infinitely much better than the last card reveal. I mean, the last card reveal was actually fine. But I made a terrible decision at the last card reveal with Peter Whalen, which was I flew down at 4 in the morning to Blizzard the morning of, and then I did the card reveal with Peter Whalen for Journey to Ungoro. And then I came here and streamed, and then I got on an airplane and flew home. So, like, does anyone remember last time when I was in this room that I was, like, falling asleep? Oh, God. Yeah, I was, like, passing out, and the room was so cold. They turned off the air conditioning. It's now hot in here. It's, like, so great. Yeah, I was, like, so pathetic looking, and it was completely my fault. It was totally 100% me. I did that to myself, and I didn't need to do that. But I'm responsible this time. I flew out last night, stayed in a hotel, and I made this incredible almost error about 5 times, which is that this expansion is called Knights of the Frozen Throne. And I kept almost calling it Wrath of the Lich King. Kept calling it almost Wrath of the Lich King the entire time, for the entire show. I did it several times before we went live. But Matt Place is just super enthusiastic, really excited. I generally chat for like an hour, hour and a half before the show begins, just to, understand the personality of the person that I'm going to be doing the show with. And he's just lovely and talked. That same enthusiasm you heard him talk about with the cards then, that's how he just talks about all the stuff. Warth of the Lich King. I don't know. How did I not walk into that? I should have said Warth. I should have said Warth of the Lich King. Would have felt good, huh? You like this tavern? You like the blinds to the tavern right over there? Yeah. Is my mom going to be on stream this time? I shouldn't tell my mom I was in town. My mom works at Blizzard, by the way. But she didn't fucking know I'm here. I was, like, on the plane yesterday, like, floating in. And just thinking, I didn't tell anyone I was here. I didn't tell a single person I was here. I don't know. I'm Shaz is like, Sean, how could you? Arcadius7 is like, what? I want Day Mom on stream. Let me see. Let me actually text her. Let's try to get Mama Bear on stream, huh? Oh, all right. I've got an iPhone that I drop a substantial amount of times. Right. Message to Mother. Mother. I'm at Blizzard. I'm on a stream. Wanna come by? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Mother, the mother of esports. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take another drink of coffee. I'm going to remove myself from the stream for a moment. And then I'm going to do a card review. Does that sound good? Oh, shit, my mom's home sick. No fucking way. No way. My mom's sick. Well, there, Mama Bear. That's what I used to say whenever my mom was, like, angry. There, Mama Bear. It's not a very good thing to say to someone who's angry. Go bring her some soup. I'll do it after I review these Ungoro cards. Excuse me. Wrath of the Lich King cards. There we go. I did it correct. Always takes 2 times, huh? All right, let's do this Ungoro card. Jesus, this Knights of the Frozen Throne card reveal. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We just did an editing break for the editor, and it's time to review some chords. Reviewing the chords. Oh, yes. What I want to do is I want to talk about all the Ungoro cards. Oh, my God. How many times are we going to do that today? I'm going to talk about all the Knights of the Frozen Throne cards that have been released thus far. Kind of do like a little mid-set review. And as we're actually going through these cards, I want to note something about predictions. This is the greatest quote. It's like my current favorite quote of all time that my dear friend Tristan said. He said, if you take an average Joe and you put a topic in front of them and you ask them to speak intelligently about that topic, they're going to be wrong 99% of the time. And if you get an expert, they're going to be wrong 70% of the time. So that's what expertise is. And I don't know. I just love that. That just struck me as so funny. This is I'm not by any means trying to claim that I am an expert card reviewer, but what I will say is expect that these predictions will be wrong. They're predictions. And I'd just like to note, with every set prediction, there tends to be one card that I get very emotionally attached to my prediction on. Very emotionally attached. Do you remember what it was for the last time? Do you remember what it was last time? It was Inkmaster Solia. I benched my identity on that, man. Oh my God. Dude, it was... Oof. Oh yeah, Inkmaster Solia. That's what I'm talking about, chat. Man, I was all in on saying that card sucked, and I was fucking right. Boom. So let's review these cards, shall we? I'm actually going to remove these headphones because I don't... Oh, really need them. And my neck is so tight. Oh my God. Oh, Grockle, the Grockle Cock Snatcher, I think is what I called Galaka Crawler when I couldn't remember it. That was great. All right, Fate Spinner. Choose a Death Rattle secretly. Deal 3 damage to all minions or give them +2/+2. I think this is fantastic. I love the design of this card so much. When I say fantastic, I mean emotionally, this is a brilliantly designed card because it's a secret. And if you haven't heard my opinion on randomness, it's this. I like when randomness creates multiple considerations that I can process, and that I need to process all of these possibilities and make a decision in that understandable space. So, for instance, I love Hydrologist because there's only 5 Paladin secrets: Eye for an Eye, Repentance, Redemption, Getaway Kodo, and something else. Redemption, Repentance. Oh yeah, Noble Sacrifice. Thank you. There's only those 5. So whenever it's Hydrologist secret, I now know I have to plan around 5 possibilities, and they tend to be a little disjointed. So that's nice. I can think about 5 things. Lightning Storm. I mean, it sucks when your Lightning Storm doesn't deal 3 damage and you want it to, but you can consider 2 or 3 to this, 2 or 3 to this, 2 or 3 to this, 2 or 3 to this. You can consider all of them. I tend not to like things like Primordial Glyph, where it's like there are 52 mage spells or whatever, and he could have one of them, but it's probably an ice block. So this is the sort of card that has the type of randomness that I adore. Now, is it a quality card? I think it is for the control-style decks that I am most used to playing. Druid is actually my most played class in Hearthstone. I think I have like, yeah, I don't know. I have like 3,000 Druid games or something like that. Not a lot compared to, pros and shit. But the deal 3 damage to all minions is really, 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 really nice. This is really, really nice. Deal 3 damage to all minions. What sucks about it is that this is actually hard for it to die. So I would like to run maybe one of these. Starfall is straight up going to be more useful in a lot of situations because it fixes the problem this turn. The problem I feel like with Fate Spinner is that I would play it on turn 5, and in terms of the deal 3 damage to all minions, it's hard to actually activate it. this could be better on turn 7 where I can kill it myself, where I like Fate Spinner and Wrath it. Excuse me, Fate Spinner and Warth it. There's some other weird synergies that I guess could exist. See, Lord Farafu says, "How is it hard at 3 health?" Well, here's how I would think of it. Imagine that it's turn 5. Why would you want to have deal 3 damage to all minions? Because he's building up a board. Because maybe it's a pirate warrior, or it's a shaman, or it's a token druid. And when you throw it down, first of all, you don't impact the board at all on that turn. You do not impact that board at all. But secondly, when you do want to impact it, imagine it's a token deck that has a lot of 2 damage things. That can be kind of hard to kill it. More often than not, I'd imagine that there's a 3 damage thing, but you can get kind of roasted and toasted by something like, I am a shaman who's built a board, boom, Stonehill Defender. And it's a 1/4 and you can't break through it. Things like that are really obnoxious. I realize this has been pointed out in chat by TV Scum, and I thank you for this. This is give all minions +2/+2. So I thought it was friendly minions +2/+2. I really thought this was friendly minions +2/+2, but it's actually all. That said, I still think that for Token Druid, this is a card that fits in. It's a little different than a Bittertide Hydra, which might actually be better. If you had stickier Death Rattle minions, this would be very nice. Your Haunted Creeper style minions. So I think this card has potential. I spent a shitload of time on this card, but I don't know. I think that this is truly a fascinating card. I think this is truly a fascinating card. I think that it will probably be more favorable in Token than in Control. I think that's my decision on it. Hadronox. This is awesome. Let me first ask a question. Is Ancient of War a taunt minion? I believe it is not a taunt minion, but it can receive a taunt buff as a battle cry effect. So I believe that this will not summon back your Ancients of War, but I actually think that's fine. I think it's actually fine because Bog Creeper is, I think, currently an acceptable replacement for Ancient of War, and in my Ramp Druids I've been running Bog Creepers instead of Ancient of Wars because you can pull them out of the deck fully statted. If your Giant Anaconda pulls it down, it's fully statted. If your Waisha RJ pulls it out of the deck, it's fully statted. And so I think Hadronox, the big downside to Hadronox is that it's so fucking slow, dude. It's a 3/7. 7 is hard to kill. And so you're going to have to probably spend 2 additional turns trying to get Hadronox to kill himself. I mean, it's a weird card. It's like you play it and you want so badly for it to die. So, I mean, I'll 100% be trying to make this thing work. It might be good in a more sturdy Taunt Druid. Because there's like the super hard ramp, and that's just my favorite. I love going from 0 to 10 mana and just trying to shit on someone. But there's the Taunt Druids that have not really been seen for a while, but they were the ones that were running the Druid of the Flame, that were running Druid of the Claw, they were running the Ancient of Wars, they were actually running Hogger. Trump popularized them a lot. Trump, the Hearthstone streamer. not the other Trump. So, this might have a place in that because the turn you play it, if you've already established some control with taunts, then you can begin to jam your face in there. Some people are saying, combo with Naturalize. It's a fun joke for sure. Is it good? Part of me is going, what else would you use Naturalize for? So maybe. I think there's potential. There's potential here. Bear Shark can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. Holy fucking shit, this card is insane. This card is the best card I've seen so far, and I've seen 3 cards. I've actually seen several of the cards in the set. I just don't remember them all very well because I had a slightly busy week, not an insanely busy week, but a slightly busy week. And they're releasing like 8 cards a day. Are we kidding me? Oh my gosh, it is so hard. But I'm going to keep this in mind. Here's the reason why I think that this is such a strong card. Currently, Hunters are having pretty good turn 1s and turn 2s. Pretty good turn 1, turn 2. It's the 3-drop slot that is hard with Hunter right now because Pack Rat, or Rat Pack, or whatever it is. Sorry, Pack Rat is a Pack Rat. It is 1 black and 1 colorless. Summon a copy of Pack Rat. Yeah, I mean, it's turn 3 is a little hard for Hunter to get the good curve out because you have Animal Companion, and then you don't really have an awesome card in there. Bear Shark fills that. I would love a 4/3 for 3, just Beast. That would be great. And this can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. That is so good. That is so good. Can you imagine? And it sets up for Houndmaster the next turn. Yeah, Rat Pack is, I think, one of the biggest underperformers of Ungoro. Abomination Archer Death Rattle. Summon a random friendly beast that died this game. So here's something that I've been experimenting with a little bit. There is the Swamp King Dredd, the Hunter 7-mana 9/9 that says whenever your opponent summons a creature, it attacks Swamp King Dredd. Or Swamp King Dredd attacks it. They fight each other. I'm sorry, Rat Pack was from Mean Streets. Yeah, you're totally correct. But still, Rat Pack is one of the underperformers. But anyways, the Swamp King Dredd is a 7-mana card. And what I've actually found is that, a lot of the mid-range hunters curve up to Savannah Highmane. And Swamp King Dredd is kind of just like another solid Savannah Highmane, right? It's just like another solid high-end card. And I actually think that there's enough meat in the hunter decks to, maybe cut cards like a Nesting Rock from there. Maybe cut some of the faster cards and actually just have a slightly better high-end. Just putting in Swamp King Dredd and 2 Abomination Archers, and now you really do have some durability here. In terms of Control Hunter, like here's where all my predictions are going to go to shit. I don't know what the meta is going to be like in the slightest. This is, by the way, this is the number one reason why people really struggle with predictions, or why I should say that predictions are so hard to make, is that there are cards that might be helpful in this current meta, but have no relevance in the new meta. Like Warlock right now really struggles. Did it get any good cards in the last set? Sure. But the rest of Warlock is struggling so hard that they can't really shine. They don't have a place. So yeah. This is the sort of card that I think opens up doors for Control Hunters. And one of the things that Control Hunters really need is they don't have good card draw right now, so anything that is a replacement for that is beautiful. And this serves that purpose, right? You drop it. It itself is pretty good stats. A 6-mana 6/7 is a Boulder Fist Ogre. This is a 7-mana 6/7, so it's pretty damn solid stats. And if you only have high-value beasts, boom, you get another beast right there on the field. And I can completely imagine a Spell Hunter control for your 1 to 5 range. And then 6-mana Savannah Highmane, it dies, boom, Abomination Archer. Professor Putricide, after you play a secret, put a random hunter secret into the battlefield. I don't think this is a good card. I really don't. There's a few things about it that are, I think the most important qualities are that it's a 4-mana 5/4. Tomb Pillager has proven to me how unbelievable that stat line can be, the 4-mana 5/4. But Tomb Pillager has a Death Rattle effect, which is nice. And this says after you play a secret, put a random hunter secret into the battlefield. So, I mean, The only way this really works is Cloaked Huntress on turn 3, and then Professor Putricide on turn 4, and then some secrets. So I don't see any good combo that can come out of this. The Secret Hunters are a little feast or famine, where you like get your secret combo off and you feel incredible, or you don't. And you just lose immediately. So I don't know. I just don't think this is going to do very much. Deathstalker Rex deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. And you get the Zombeast hero power, which I think, yeah, build a beast. This is absolutely fucking incredible. This is absolutely astounding. This is... I still don't think it's quite as good as Bear Shark. Still don't think it's quite as good as Bear Shark. Yeah, I mean, the deal 2 damage to all enemy minions, that's amazing. That's amazing, 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 amazing. The fact that it's 6 mana to gain 5 armor and do that is amazing, 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 amazing. And then, the very next turn, you have Build a Beast. Wow. Build a Beast, for any of you who don't know, it reveals to you a beast that costs 5 or less, and then it shows you another beast that costs 5 or less, and then it combines all of the properties of those beasts. So if you have like a 1-1 with Lifesteal and a 2-2 with Taunt, you now have a 3-3 with Taunt and Lifesteal. So, and I will say this replaces the #1 biggest problem that Control Hunters have, which is no card draw. I mean, I actually think if you look at the Hunter class cards, they are amazing. All Hunter cards are amazing. But you just don't have any card draw. You have, like, none. You have weird card draw, like tracking, which is replace tracking with a card and throw some other shit out. Oh, God. Explosive Shot is, like, an awesome card. Explosive Shot is really, really, really nice. Alright, on to some mage cards. Cold Wraith, Battlecry. If an enemy is frozen, draw a card. This is a card that I'm going to mess up a lot. Or I would say old Sean would. I'm actually going to angle myself this way, dude. I have been looking to the left so many times. Thanks to the card reveal stream. There's going to be looking to the right. Yeah, because Matt was to my right, and my neck's getting cramped. I can feel it tightening up. Here's the thing about Cold Wraith. If an enemy is frozen, draw a card. Now, like, let's be real, okay? Until this set came out, I don't think anyone was getting a hard-on for Frozen. All right? No one's like, yes, I'm going to freeze enemies this turn, except you, Primordial Glyph jerk mages. All right? Frozen was one of the lesser exciting mechanics out there. You know, water elementals often would not really get the chance to even use it. They would just kind of be killing. And there were some opportunities where it came up. Glacial Shard in Quest Rogue, or obviously delay things like Blizzard and Frost Nova. But the thing that I think that would initially, I look at just the card text, Battlecry, if an enemy is frozen, draw a card. Okay, that's cool. So if I Frost Nova and play this, I'll draw a card off it. That's right, it replaces itself. But it's a 3-4 for 3. 3-4 for 3. That is a really killer stat line. That is a super, super killer stat line. Oh my God. Person is telling me this is pre-recorded. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's amazing. All right. Ghastly Conjurer. Yeah, so I think that the 3-4 is... Why would I pre-record? Do you realize it is way more effort for me to pre-record than it is for me to do the show live? That's funny. Oh, yeah, so I actually think that this one, I can't see anything. I can't see anything. that would immediately beg for a Cold Wraith in it, but I still feel like this is going to be a great, great, great card. Cerebral09 says, quick, say your pre-recorded answer to this sentence to fool them all. There it is. I always make one Cerebral09 reference. That's it. Ghastly Conjurer. This is a card, I actually think that this is a good card. I say actually because nothing excites me about it. I'm not like, oh yeah, 2 6s. Woo, 2 6s. Although, I guess I kind of like 2 6s. I like 2 6s. There's, the 2/6. Your hero power costs 1. That's a pretty cool card. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But a 4-mana 2/6 to me screams I am helpful at clearing off little dudes. Mirror Image, what are the decks that was always most useful in? In Tempo Mages with Flame Wakers and Sorcerer's Apprentice and Mana Worms, things like that just wanted to have an extra turn with each of their attackers. And so Ghastly Conjurer does 2 good things in a row for that kind of deck archetype, right? It is good at repeatedly clearing small little things. If you are up against a Pirate Warrior, it's nice to be able to just poke at several dudes to deal that 2 damage over the course of several turns. But then also the Mirror Image is really, really, really nice. That's right, guys. Every other card that I'm reviewing is pre-recorded. Every other one. Every single other one. Oh, mother shit. I almost knocked my drink over. All right. Sindragosa. 8 mana, 8/8 summon 2/01 Frozen Champions. Okay. Here's the thing. Okay? Let's be real. Does Mage need any help? Does Mage need any help? Here. Let me explain to you the huge problem with this card. This card's fucking great. It's an 8/8 for 8 that will give you more legendaries. That's great. That's awesome. Has synergy with N'Zoth? Sure. Yeah, great. Cool. Nice. It's a dragon. It has synergy with Dragon Decks. That's awesome. Cool. But you know what? Mage, like, the control Mage lists right now are just unbelievable. They're absolutely unbelievable. I mean, that's an unbelievable deck. So, I mean, this card is amazing. This is a great card. What would be cut from the current control decks to run it? I don't know. That said, is just an amazing card. And I feel like the big theme of my little analysis of everything that I've been seeing is it seems like they're not playing into existing archetypes as much. There's a lot of thought to alterations to that. Because, you look at Tomb Pillager, 5/4 for 4 mana that gives you a coin. Oh, cool, I get more coins for my Miracle Rogue. Then, for Mean Streets of Gadgetzan, they had the Counterfeit coin. Oh, great, I have another activator for my Miracle. And for my combos, right? You clearly see that play into. But Sindragosa obviously is not going to fit into a lot of these super aggro decks. It's very clearly nice for some type of control, but I mean, I don't really know what the meta is going to look like. I mean, I just think that Mage is insane right now. So, nice card. Frozen Champion, Death Rattle. Add a random legendary minion to your hand. God, that art is beautiful, man. Look how beautiful that art is. That is just incredible. Wow. Oh, that's so amazing. Frozen Champion are the things that are summoned from this, by the way. Chillblade Champion. Oh, God, I need a back massage. Oh, my God. Worked out a little too hard, man. It's painful. It's painful. Never work out. You gotta not exercise, man. Exercising is dangerous for you. Okay. Chillblade Champion is... Okay. Here's my thought on Chillblade Champion. I bet you that I am going to undervalue this card. This reminds me a lot of Argent Horse Rider, the 3-mana 2/1 with charge that was neutral. 3 mana 2/1 with charge and divine shield. Excuse me. Like that card was like a real staple in a ton of decks. So for this, 3/2 is bad stats for 4. Super bad. Being able to charge, still pretty bad, because the implication with charge is that I'm going to be running this into another creature. Rarely am I just going to jam it down and hit face, right? But the fact that it has lifesteal, I don't really know how to value lifesteal at this point in time. Because I'm trying to ask myself the question, okay, what if instead this card was deal 3 damage and heal for 3? Oh, dude, Toby Wan, I'm so pumped to see you at TI, man. I land on Friday. I land on Friday the 4th. Yeah, so if this was 4 mana, deal 3 damage, heal for 3, that sucks. No one would be getting excited about that. This is a creature, so it can do it multiple turns in a row, but only if it can stay alive. I really don't know how to value lifesteal at all. I really have no clue. I'd assume that maybe hand buff Paladin is going to be getting a little better. Dark Thunder says so Bash. Bash is 3 mana, though, and this is 4 mana, so... Ugh. Light's Sorrow. This is a Paladin card, right? After a friendly minion loses Divine Shield, gain +1 attack. Fuck. Ah, God, I gotta... Oh, undoing the belt. There we go. Ah, yes. Now the tummy can slowly release itself. Ah, be free, tummy. After a friendly minion loses Divine Shield, gain +1 attack. This is... I think this is insane. I think this is absolutely out of control good. I think this is spectacular. Wow. I think this is actually a spectacular card. I'm seeing a lot of people saying, it's no good. I've seen a lot of additional Divine Shielder dudes in the deck, and I've played a lot of aggro Divine Shield Paladin. It's super unbelievably fun. This thing has 4 attacks. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Losing 2 Divine Shields is a piece of cake. Good or bad depends if it buffs well in hand, I think. It doesn't buff when it's in hand. It doesn't buff when it's in hand. The next doctor says, compared to True Silver, really think it can compete for the 4-slot weapon? True Silver is really great and reliable. The thing that I think is very nice about Light's Sorrow is how many turns it lasts. I think that if you're doing a very aggressive deck, you want to have the True Silvers, for sure. I should say, if you're choosing to put in a 4-slot weapon, you're going to want to put in the True Silvers. 100%. I mean, it's not even close. Because, I mean, will you even get 4 turns to attack with a weapon and get huge amounts of value? But with Light's Sorrow, I mean, it is surprisingly not tough to get a shitload of Divine Shield minions. It is just not hard with Paladin. One of the benefits of me being really an itchy player and constantly switching decks is that, like, I've had experience with a lot of really stupid, terrible decks. I have so much experience with Discard Warlock. I have a low win rate. I have such experience with it. Light's Sorrow, I actually think is going to be an insane card. Here, this is the one. I'll tie my identity to this one. I think this is going to be an insane card. I think this is going to be a really insane card. The reason this would not be good is if Paladin just sucked. If Paladin is like a weak class and there's just like better aggro decks, then it won't work. Warble said Ooze is already a tech card that we see a lot. Well, if you're running a Divine Shield deck, you're going to be running your 2 Rallying Blades, the 3-mana 3/2 that buffs your Divine Shielders. And then you only have enough room for about 2 more weapons with that sort of deck. Only 2-ish more weapons. So, getting 1 oozed is fine because you actually just are always having a weapon out. It's not that bad. So, Bovar Fireblood, Divine Shield. After a friendly minion loses a Divine Shield, gain +2 attack. I think that this is good. It's not insane like the weapon is. I mean, inexpensive, high-value weapons are consistently like the most, I don't want to say broken, but consistently the most powerfully and stressed about cards in all of Hearthstone. Like Fiery War Axe. Oh my god. So amazing. Spirit Claws. What the hell? True Silver Champion even sometimes gets people losing their minds. Death Spite. Anytime a weapon is a little efficient, it rapidly becomes sort of a defining card. And for that reason, when I look at Bovar Fireblood, I say, okay, well, 5 mana for probably a 3/7 or a 5/7 is nice. That's nice, but it's 1 card, and it's easy to remove 1 card. So I think that this would be a solid card in a Divine Shield deck, but I really think the statement is there needs to be a Divine Shield deck in there. A lot of people, I think, are saying that Light's Sorrow just sucks because it's worse than True Silver. That might totally be true. I feel that this is going to be insane. So there you go. Spirit Lash, Priest cards. Lifesteal, deal 1 damage to all minions. Yep. Yes. Didn't say the magic word. Initially, I wanted to jump for joy when I saw this card. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, we did it. Oh my god, we got the card we've always needed. Because, I mean, as weird as this is going to sound, Priest does not feel like they have enough heal when you do Shadow Formy decks. There's just, you can have a greater healing potion, but I mean, it's a very passive card, and it's a very sort of blunt card. It's like, hugely heal yourself up, and then probably do nothing else with your turn. Spirit Lash has obvious synergy with Blood Mage Thalnos for healing for 1 billion. The fact that it heals, I actually think is incredibly significant. I don't know where the hell else you're going to get the spell power, though, because without spell power, it sucks. React 42 says, will lifesteal hurt you if you have Akanai? Oh, yeah. So, I mean, the Spirit Lash I might literally not run it in any of my Priest decks unless I can figure out ways to get spell power in there. So, it depends if the 1 health decks are going to be really spammied. Oh my god, dude. My back is just tired. Oh wait, that's right. I can't lean away from the microphone because then you immediately cannot hear me. It's like just Blood Mage Talents. I don't know what the hell else other good spell power cards there are, because priest decks are really tight. I think that they are very tight lists. It's hard to squeeze in little extra cards here and there. I guess that's true for any class. I don't know why I'm saying that necessarily about Priest. I gotta relax the backs. Karkisa, did Day9 do the card reveal? Is there a link? Yeah, I just got done with the card reveal, and actually, I'm going to be reviewing the cards. They're over here on this other monitor, but I can, whoa! Get over there. Get over there. So, I don't know. Spirit Lash is going to be okay. It's going to be an okay card. Leeching Poison. Give your weapon lifesteal. Hey, guys. Does this combo with Blade Flurry? Does this combo with Blade Flurry? Might combo with Blade Flurry. I doubt it. Some people are saying yes. Some people saying no. Some people saying I don't know. Give your weapon life. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. For some reason, I read poisonous. I'm dumb. Give your weapon lifesteal. Is that any good? Oh, God. I feel like I'm calling all these cards good. I think this is a good card. And here's why. Well, this is not a good card. Here's why. Here's why I think it's good and not good. The reason that I would go, oh, this is good. Good, I think, is an imprecise term. This is an imprecise term. This is an ideal card to open up possibilities for Rogue, because lifesteal is so good. I don't know if any of you guys played Magic the Gathering, but lifesteal is like a powerful mechanic when it gets to go off. And if you have Assassin's Blade with lifesteal, I mean, you're healing for a lot. If you can get Assassin's Blade, if you can get the three... Okay, there's a card that was revealed today that's really interesting the shit out of me. Where is it? Let me show this on air. This is a new rogue weapon that was just revealed today. And I want to kind of talk about these both in parallel. Battlecry, your hero is immune this turn. Notice it's not immune while attacking. It's immune this turn. You're immune the whole turn, dude. So, I mean, this screams, I'm going to keep my health a little high. Right now, there's just not like any healing in Rogue. There's no healing in Rogue. It sucks to try to heal your life in Rogue. I mean, yeah, you can maybe run an Earthen Ring Farseer. It sucks. It sucks. So this is a really nice way to clear some nerds. 3 mana, 3/2 weapons feel like some of the most fair weapons in the game. This is a rogue weapon, by the way. This is a rogue weapon. And so cool. This seems like a nice weapon tool to delay game with rogue. This seems like a nice rehealing mechanic to continue to remain stable with rogue with an Assassin's Blade. So I actually think that that's what interests me about this card. It opens up some possibilities. The reason I'm going, this card is bad. Bad, again, is imprecise. Lifesteal is insane in Magic the Gathering. It's a great mechanic. But you also have an uncapped health. So you can go to like 5,000 health if you want, even though you start at 20. And you're capped at 30, which is very relevant in Rogue. I mean, this is why mages often feel very comfortable against rogues, because they're not going to get a shitload of armor. They're not like druids or warriors or other mages. So, I mean, I think that this is a card that I can't evaluate because there's no control rogues, right? They don't exist. There's no control rogue archetype that I'm like, this is perfect for. But this card, I think, absolutely opens up the possibility for control rogue archetypes. And it makes me want to run Deadly Poison again. I love Deadly Poison. I mean, how cool would that be to be running Deadly Poison as options to buff all these, rich variety of weapons, including your hero power, and then you can Leeching Poison, and then you can Poisonous your weapon? I mean, that's cool. Like, there's a weapon rogue in here somewhere. Plague Scientist, give a friendly minion Poisonous. Bad, baddie, bad. Finally, I found a card where I get to say I think it's bad. The card sucks, it's not good. Get out of here. See a card. Hell no, Plague Scientist. You can take your little shitty 2/3 stat line and go to another game. I don't care about the Plague Scientist. His art is cool, but he's a tool. He ain't doing anything nice. Maybe an Arena, yeah, but guess what Day 9 doesn't play? Arena! Oh my god, this guy, oh yeah, he sucks. He's so awful. He's the worst. All right, let me tone it down a little bit. I'm not that much of a fan of this card. It doesn't seem great. It's hard for me to think about where and how it would be used. There's one combo that I can think of. That is insane, which is Wild Pyromancer. You then give the Wild Pyromancer Poisonous. You chuck a coin out, and you clear it. But let me ignore... And honestly, that might be enough. That might be so unbelievable to give Rogue a sort of DIY Equality Consecrate. Cool. But here's the thing. So I think that Rogue... Okay, so let's talk about early game. Early game. In early game, I feel like Rogue has a pretty okay time right now clearing. You have Backstab. You have your hero power. SI7 agents. Eviscerates. There's just a lot of tools to just clear off the small little dudes. And so, suppose I have a Swash Burglar and I have Patches out. Yeah, play that on turn 1, hero power turn 2, and then on turn 3, maybe one of my 1/1s is still alive. Boom, run down a Plague Scientist. And I can kill maybe something that's a 3/3 with my 1/1. I mean, those first 3-4 turns, it's hard for me to see a spot where Plague Scientist fits in. Okay, what about turns 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Something like this. Vilespine Slayer is kind of remarkable. Kind of fucking kick ass, man. Oh. Woo! Vilespine Slayer! I think in my last review, I didn't even... Did I say Vilespine Slayer was insane? I think I may have said that it was okay. And I can see running 1. I hope I said it was insane. But yeah, so Plague Scientist I don't think fits anything in that turns 4 to 7. Or even later. I think the only thing I can think of with Plague Scientist is combos. Crazy combos. I think crazy combos, I can imagine this being good. Like Wild Pyromancer. You play it, boom, Pyromancer, buffed up, coin, roast everything. That I can see. I don't know how good that's going to be. So I will make this confident statement. I think Plague Scientist sucks, except it might be part of some board clear combo. Oh, wait, it says combo give a friendly minion poisonous. Well, if it's part of a combo anyways. Yeah, I think this is actually even more of a total ball sack than I imagined. This is not good. Wow, it's a combo card. Such confidence. Yeah, that's right, Executive Day 9. You know it. Yeah, no, seriously. 1 out of 10. Very bad. Very bad. Would not review again. I like how I vacillate between a thoughtful and reasoned and tempered opinion and then just extreme. That's great. Icebreaker, destroy any frozen minion damage by his turn. No fucking clue how to evaluate this card, baby. Oh, I don't know how to evaluate this card, baby. This is an Icebreaker. This is a shaman weapon. And I mean, you had Glacial Shard. You had Frost Shock. That was it. That's what you got. Show me what you got. That's it. This is it. So when I look at this, I'm like, that is utter garbage. That's what my first reaction was. And I was talking to Matt Place about it before the stream, and he was like, we're adding in a lot of freeze mechanics to Shaman. That is their theme in this set, is freeze mechanics. And I was like, huh. For any of you who didn't see, there was another card that was revealed today. Maybe my favorite card, because I have openly talked about how much I like these kinds of mechanics. Let me find you. There it is. Boom. This card. This was a card that was revealed today. Look at this. Give a minion +3/+3 and freeze it. Swiss Army knife. Oh! This is reminding me of like a Dota ability, because like Glimmer Cape, one of the simpler items, is like gain 15% magic resistance. and gain an active ability that lets you cast invisibility on another person that lasts for 6 seconds, but it has a 1-second fade time, and also the person who is invisible gains 45% magic resistance. Like, it does a lot of stuff. So if someone's getting targeted by spells, you might want to Glimmer Cape them. If someone is trying to run away, you want them to hide, you Glimmer Cape them. If you are kind of feeling like you're going to take a lot of magic this game anyways, just get Glimmer Cape because it has a passive thing, right? There's a lot of things that the item does. It's like Cryostasis right here. I can buff my own dude. It can't attack for a turn, but maybe I have a taunt. Maybe I throw out a Tar Creeper and bam, Cryostasis it. Now all of a sudden it's kind of huge. It's more obnoxious to deal with. It's frozen. It can't attack for a turn, but that's okay. That's totally fine. Maybe I'm trying to build a board to blast away my opponent with a Bloodlust. By the way, did everyone catch when I accidentally said, yeah, some of those shamans try to build the board and then blow off the opponent? They're just trying to blow them off. Blowing them off. That was a great moment in that stream. I hope you guys caught that. That was funny. And then I was like, blow away, Matt. That was good fun. That was good fun. But yeah, I mean, I can imagine I'm trying to build the board. Boom, Cryostasis the opponent. Freeze, lock down one of his key cards so I can get another swing in. So with cards like Cryostasis, I start to go, you know, if I'm a more aggressive shaman, and let's not forget how impactful Glacial Shard is. Let's not forget how impactful Glacial Shard has been in Quest Rogue. It's just a very nice value freeze card. It gets nice little tempo swings, tempo builds up. Icebreaker can crack them. I can't believe this is 3 mana. I thought it was 2 mana. That's Imba. That's terrible. Actually, it needs to be 2 mana. Never mind. I thought it was 2 mana. Matt Play said it was 2 mana. That butt. What a butt. Take that, Matt Butt. Matt Butt Place. Oh, a Voodoo Hexer. 5 mana, 2/7 taunt, freeze any character damaged by this minion. Interesting as hell. I mean, my instant reaction is no bad, right? That's my gut reaction. And I want to ask myself the question, where is that gut reaction coming from? I firmly believe this gut reaction is coming from the fact that freeze is a mechanic that I don't think about a lot at all. I mean, in your head, consider the way in which freeze works. Like, freeze everyone. That's how, you know, Blizzard and Frost Nova works. That's how, typically when I think about freeze, I think about no one attacks this turn. Everyone just shut up for a turn. Or, I don't want his hero to attack, so I'm going to freeze him. Those are the two experiential use cases for freeze. Rarely anywhere in Hearthstone is there strategic freezing of targets. Period. You know what I mean? I actually think arena players have a better feel for freeze than constructed players because at least you're getting your frost elementals and glacial shards in action, you know? So, I mean, if I'm looking at this stat line, Ali Armorsmith, 5 mana, 2/7 with a gain armor effect. Nice, nice, nice. Great card, right? I'm thinking of the 5 mana 3/6 Taunt Warrior. Feels pretty good. So 2/7, even though I tend to balk at that stat line, like, come on, man. But I think that I'm underestimating strongly this individual freeze thing. Because, I mean, like, imagine this. All right, you've built up a board as shaman. You have fireflies, you have some totems on the board, you have some shit going down. Blam, you throw down a Voodoo Hexer. And he has to kill the Voodoo Hexer, but he doesn't have an answer. 7 health is a shitty stat line to try to remove. Have you ever tried to kill an Ali Armorsmith without hard removal? It's horrible. You have to run like 3 creatures into it. Imagine 3 creatures. Like a 3/3, a 2/1, and another 2/1. Or hell, just give them more health. Let's just have a 3/3, a 3/3, and a 3/3, right? Bang all of them straight into the Voodoo Hexer, and then holy shit-a-moly. You don't get to do anything with them in the next turn. It's huge! Yeah, I think that this is... I don't have a any immediate positive sensation about it, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, God, that actually could be something good. Sanguine Reveler. Battlecry. Destroy friendly minion in game. +2/+2. Huh. Ooh. Oh. 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 In America, there's a term we have called a chubby. Yeah, this card I think this is good. I think this is good. I think this is good. This is good. Wow. A few things to note. I don't think that Sanguine Reveler will necessarily ever see consistent turn 1 play. There's not a lot of good targets that would pop out on the first turn, with the one obvious exception of the Possessed Villager, the 1/1 that says Death Rattle, summon a 1/1. So, in that regard, it makes me think, well, do I really want to play a Flame Imp and then kill it with a Sanguine Reveler? Do I really want to play a Voidwalker and then kill it with a Sanguine Reveler? No, totally not. But there is this fundamental problem that I've been feeling a lot when trying to make Zoo work, because again, for whatever reason, there's this muscle in my body that just says, do the thing that everyone thinks is bad. The reason I like exploring those is that not a lot of people are exploring, so I feel like I'm figuring out my own ideas. I would really hate to figure out my own Pirate Warrior, because I would just feel like I'm doing a worse version of what everyone else is doing. That's the joy that I experience when I fiddle with archetypes that aren't common. It feels like I'm doing my own little form of exploring. And I've been trying to explore actually making Zoo work. Making the damn Zoo decks work, damn it. And there's just not quite enough big punchy cards that you can play to build the board early. Like a Nerubian Egg was really nice. You play the Nerubian Egg, you get a Direwolf Alpha out, you pop someone with it, boom, you now have a 4/4 on the board. Sanguine Reveler feels a little bit like getting a Nerubian Egg style effect nicely. And or I should just say for 1 mana, right? You don't have the egg and then have the 4/4. You just sort of play straight into the solid body aspect. And, in the Zoo decks I've been fiddling with, just life tapping leads to weird dead turns where you play some things, then life tap and you can't do anything. You maybe want to put some meteor dudes in, some stronger minions. You try to do that, and now you kind of have flatter turns at the start, and then maybe you play some big minions, but then if you miss, you try to life tap, and then if you life tap into one of those big minions, it hurts. Sanguine Reveler is like a dream card to life tap into, right? After you summon some 1/1s due to all the various ways that Zoo can summon 1/1s, you life tap, you have 3 mana left over, play a card, play a Sanguine Reveler, boom. This is excellent. I love this card. Let's not forget the fact that it can eat eggs. It can eat the 0/3 egg. The 0/3 egg that hatches, the 5/5. And don't also forget the Ravenous Pterodax, the 4 mana 4/4 beast that says Battlecry, destroy a friendly minion. The Ravenous Pterodax adapts twice if you do that. So, egg into Ravenous Pterodax, great. Super inconsistent. Egg into Sanguine Reveler, very consistent. Well, I should say, egg into Sanguine Reveler and Ravenous Pterodax. So, again, Ravenous Pterodax, I think, that's the best example of what I was talking about at the start of this show, which is I just don't know what the meta is going to look like. Ravenous Pterodax is an amazing card. It's a 4 mana 4/4 that can get huge in a variety of useful ways. It can become a 4/7 with Taunt. That's an amazing thing to have happen on turn 4. It's incredible. But Zeus sucks, so we don't see Ravenous Pterodaxes at all because we don't see Warlocks at all. This is same boat. This card's amazing. It's an amazing card. Unless Zeus sucks. My throat is so dry, I can't even believe it. Alright, Blood Queen, Lanathel, Lifesteal has +1 attack for each card you've discarded this game. Running out of health is a huge problem for Warlock right now. Huge problem for Warlock. And I've been trying to make Disco Lock work. This is just a great card. The most effective Disco Lock style things. Been trying to do some Disco Lock, the Discard Warlock, the Lakari Sacrifice. Oh my god, did you hear me accidentally shit all over Lakari Sacrifice on the stream today? I was trying to make a joke about the fact that it's like one of the lesser effective quests, and that, you know, I've been trying to make it work and haven't been able to make it work. And what I said was, on air, quote, Lakari Sacrifice is a quest that says, put Lakari Sacrifice in your deck, lose the game. And then I was like, all of a sudden I was like, holy shit, that came out way harsh. Oh my god. But of course I can't like apologize immediately on air because that just looks real dumb. So I just had to roll with it, man. Dark Thunder says accidentally. Oh yeah, dude. There's a really weird feeling that happens when you have to continuously talk for like an hour, which is where you need to build up some automation so you can think ahead about what you're going to say and work towards that point, instead of what's the next sentence? What's the next sentence? What's the next sentence? Or like, what's my next word? What's my next word? If you get stuck trying to think too present tense, you just fall apart. When you're talking continuously for long periods of time, you build up a muscle to be able to sort of look ahead, and you go, oh, I kind of want to make a joke about that, and you keep going, and then it just like you only have so much control over how you're saying things. And, you know, for most people, when they talk, it's very deliberate, right? You don't talk all day until someone comes up and's like, hey, how's your ankle? Because in this story, you have a hurt ankle. Or I don't know, maybe you have intriguing ankles or some shit. And you go, and then you give a constructed, thoughtful answer to that. What you don't do most of the time is just continuously talk nonstop for 8 hours. And I do that for like 30 hours a week. so yeah, I totally wind up, not, I don't want to say autopiloting, but like bullet pointing what I'm going to say. And then I just accidentally shit all over Lakari Sacrifice. I like, is fucking the designer who is in charge of the set and alternates with Peter Whalen being in charge of sets on initial design. He's right there, and I'm like, yeah, there's a card you made. It's a card you made, Matt Place. It's shit. It's a shit card, Matt. What do you think of that, Matt? I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want to have it come out that way. Either way, you guys have great ankles, and sincerest apologies to Matt and to the Hearthstone team. Lakari Sacrifice is not that awful. It's not like you're making me put Lakari Sacrifice in my deck. I know the solution is to just not put it in. Oh, well, whatever. But either way, I've been trying Lakari Sacrifice decks, and I run out of health a lot of the times. Some of you have seen me try to fiddle with this. Even like running Jaraxxus and Alexstrasza. I would happily cut Alexstrasza and run Blood Queen Lanathel in there. It's great. So I think this could be good, but could be good. This fits a nice identity in the decks I've been doing, so this could be good. It could be good. Flurry, Fiery Warrior. Whenever you play Minion, deal 1 damage to it. What? What? Wait. Are there any good enraged targets? Like, that's why I'm going, what? Because I'm trying to think of, like, what? By the way, I think there's something lost in translation because I think this was one of the ones that was like revealed in China, and they like translated the name over using Alta Vista Babelfish, and they got Fluffy Fiery Warrior. I mean, I guess this has a combo with Acolyte of Pain. Pumpkin Bunt Cake says the real name of this card is Animated Berserker. You know what? It's the Fluffy Fiery Warrior. Everyone else is wrong. You're all mistaken. It's a Fluffy Fiery Warrior. There it is. I think this card is spectacularly bad. I cannot think. Okay, so for any of you who have never watched my stream, there's a rule. There's a rule, right? You can suggest a card to put into this deck only if you suggest a card to cut out of the deck. Right? If you want something to get in, you got to tell something else to get out. So when I look at this, I can make vacuum statements. I don't think anyone says it like that. I can make statements in a vacuum like, yeah, Fluffy Fiery Warrior can ping the Acolyte when I play him. Well, I mean, what about Blood Warriors? Maybe. Maybe. Oh yeah, I can full screen this. Yeah, look at that. No problem. No problem. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is. Aaron Toué says it is also a decent rogue counter. Oh yeah, I guess you can like hurt your guys and they can't backstab. Just cut Acolyte for it. There it is. Yeah, no. Why wait till turn 3 to have a 1/3 when you can run that shit out right there? I really, a lot of the Control Warrior deck lists work nicely when they have a pretty lean deck list, that involves a few whirlwind effects in the form of like Ravaging Ghoul, in terms of just plain old whirlwind. Revenge, 2 mana, is also good. And those work really nicely because of their flexibility. Warrior doesn't have the most card draw. They have a lot of like beefiness to delay in terms of their hero power. They have weapons and allow them to delay over multiple turns using 1 card. And so, when I look at this, like what's great about Revenge is that it is flexible. I can hit my own Acolyte in some matchups. I can clear stuff off. Yeah, I mean, I think this is unbelievably bad. I think this is so bad I'm going to go to the hospital. Blood Razor, Battle Cry, and Death Rattle deal 1 damage to all minions. What do I think? Yeah, sorry. Is my volume getting too loud or too soft? I'm not used to this microphone. Oh yeah. I actually think that Blood Razor is great. I think this is great. Too soft when you lean back. Oh yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, I lean back all the time. It's really bad. Yeah, I think that this is really great. I just think this is really, 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 really great. Yeah, the reason I think it's great is that like warriors are always able to make such incredible use of whirlwind effects. And the ability to deal some spread out damage is really nice. Yeah, I just think it's pretty good. It's not as insane as Death's Bite, which is again just like the most ridiculous weapon that has ever been printed. I mean, that thing is like so insanely good. I can't even believe it. God, Death's Bite is ridiculous. Whatever. Mountain Fire Armor, Death Rattle. If it's your opponent's turn, gain. What? I think this is bad. This is the weirdest card ever. Okay, so a 3-mana 4/3, an aggressive stat line. It says, I'm going to go to face. Okay. So, Death Rattle, if it's your opponent's turn, gain 6 armor. Nice. You know, all right, cool, we get a bonus if he dies. But, you know, like, this bonus doesn't help me. I mean, it's good aggro versus aggro. I actually cannot think of a situation where this is good. This is the weirdest card. I don't even know how to evaluate this card. The stat line to me says aggressive. The Death Rattle to me says defensive. And so I can't figure out when you would want to be aggresso defenso. I mean, 3-mana 4/3 is just nice in some spots. I mean, it's good in arena, but, you know, Injured Blade Master is a 3-mana 4/3. Off tense is if you have a card which provides taunt, it becomes very nice. I mean, like, instead of playing 2 cards in this roundabout fashion in order to make the Mountain Fire Armor gain taunt so that I can then get 6 armor, I feel like I would rather just run 2 individual taunt cards. Bring it on. Gain 10 armor, reduce the cost of minions in your opponent's hand by 2. Brilliant card design. Absolutely spectacularly interesting card design. Oh no, it is an afternoon yawn. I like it. I like it a lot. This is just great. This hurts mages. It's great. Here's what I love about this card. Here's what I absolutely love about this card. So my summary of this card is I think it is spectacular, but notice the very subtle thing about this card, the quality that it has that I just want so much more of in Hearthstone. This says, do you understand his deck well enough to know the impact of playing this? I love that. I love that so much. There's, you know, Dirty Rat was a step in this direction, you know, where it's like pull a card out of his hand. Oh, if it's a Jade Druid running this is good because I can get his gadgets in, his Jade Behemoth or his Jade Spirit. Yeah, or I can even get Aya. Nice, that seems good, right? This says if you understand your opponent's deck enough to time this well, you get a good reward. And it's not as random as Dirty Rat, because sometimes you play Dirty Rat and it just sucks down an absolute vile thing. So, you know, if you're against a hunter who's running low on cards, bam, you play Bring It On. You might reduce just the cost of his high main from 6 to 4, and that's fine because you were expecting it to come down anyways. If you play this too early against an aggro, you're going to provide to him a spike. You're going to screw yourself over. If you are against a mage and you improperly time this, you can give a discount to Antonitis, right? You need to be thoughtful about how you use this. And I think that's what makes it really interesting. I don't necessarily think that it will have 2 ofs run. This does seem like a 1 of run. I actually think that this card is super interesting. I don't think it's a 2 of card. But I gotta say the design behind this is just fantastic. It's just super fantastic. I mean, there's so much strategy that you can do with just this card, you know? Like, yeah, I see people posting in chat, like what the Grumbler just pointed. He said the brawl bait is a good point. Yeah, you can play this, they play everything, you brawl. Bone Mare. Oh my god, I have such a Bone Mare right now. Alright, Bone Mare. Battle Cry says, give a friendly minion +4/+4 and taunt. Holy shit, Arena. I'm so sorry, Arena players. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. So sorry. Bone Mare. Wow. Wow. Bone Mare, Amanda. I'd like all Arena players to both note how excited you are and how angry you're going to be when someone uses this card. This is a common. This is a common card. Will it see constructed play? Let me think. I have no clue, dude. I don't even know. It's probably bad and constructed. Maybe in a hand buff? I don't know. Shallow Grave Digger. Grave Digger. Death Rattle. Add a Death Rattle to your hand. I think this is good for Amara decks. So you have fewer Death Rattle cards in your deck. Oh, I'm tired. I need to get water. How late am I streaming? Till about 3:30. About 3:30, so another 2 hours or so. This might be the biggest offender of RNG ever. I mean... I mean, this just seems like a reasonable value card. Value cards never excite me. Like, if there's a 3-mana 4/4, I'm like, okay, you know, it's great stats. Cool, got it. But there's a lot of crappy Death Rattles. There's a lot of great Death Rattles. The one connection to other decks that I can see, or to a deck archetype that I can envision, is like Amara Priest, and that's it. Yeah, completely unexciting to me. Does nothing for me. Taking Abomination. Death Rattle. Do 5 damage to your minions. It doesn't have Taunt. Ah. Ah. Dude, you guys are so funny right now. This is so funny. Silence target. Mountain Fire Armor Synergy. This is the best card in the set. Just keeps getting itself. Amara value. 4 mana, 5/6. Okay, so I'm sifting through my head to think about decks where this might be good. It doesn't really have any synergy. Yeah, I think that there's nothing synergistic about this thing, but it might be obnoxious enough to run anyways. Does nothing for me. Doesn't excite me. Corpse Taker. Here it is. I loved when Matt Place was talking about this shit. I loved when he was talking about... one second. Ow. Bend, damn it. There we go. I loved when Matt Place was talking about the idea of build-arounds. Because, like, okay, so... when you build a... There's sets of constraints that you're working within. If you are on the extreme end, you're building a Reno deck. You can only have one of each card in your deck. That is the restriction. And therefore, you are forced pretty hard in that direction. What about an Amara Priest? Well, you need 7 Death Rattles played to trigger the quest. Therefore, about 7 cards in your deck need to be Death Rattles. I say about 7 because you could maybe run 5 and then have N'Zoth or something like that. And so that's sort of 7 cards that are restricted. And Cthulhu decks are like even more restrictive because here are the Cthulhu cards. And you put Cthulhu in. There you go. And Corpse Taker is interesting to me because it's like a very genteel build-around card. Imagine you're Paladin. You have Wicker Flame Burn Bristle and Tyrian Fordring in the deck. Wow, that's actually a lot of effects. Yeah, imagine you just have those 2, and let's say you put in a third. I'd have to think of a third one that has some sort of... Actually, if you're running... Okay, imagine this control deck, okay? You have a Tyrian... You have a Wicker Flame Burn Bristle. You have some Tar Creepers. That's it, right? And maybe one other lifesteal card in there. All of a sudden, you're getting fairly regularly a Taunt, Divine Shield, lifesteal. Maybe 2 ofs. Corpse Taker. Think about Alakir Windlord. It's great. I mean, this isn't an elemental, so... awesome. I mean, even just Taunt Divine Shield's good. Even Taunt Lifesteal's good. Even Divine Shield Lifesteal's good. It's great. This is great. I think this is one of the best designs in the entire set. I think this is fantastic. Now, a 4-mana 3/3, generally those cards are wholly uninteresting. I don't remember his name. Silvermoon? Silvermoon Man? I think Silver Moon Man is it's a 4-mana 3/3 with Divine Shield, and he is bad. He is not run. He is not run. No one has any interest in him. Silver Moon Guardian, thank you. Forward sound. So I think that despite how amazingly interesting I find this, it might just be bland as shit. Do you remember Thunder Lizard? I was like all in on Thunder Lizard. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna break the meta. He's a lizard and you can adapt him. And adapts, as it turns out, are kind of gentle in their impact on things. You don't really win huge momentous swings with an adapt. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I don't think this card is good. I think it's actually not it's not good enough. I think it's not good enough. Well, wait a minute. The only archetype that... The only class that this is really going to be exceptional is Paladin. And I think it's only going to be notably good in hand buff. If hand buff is even good. Yeah, actually, I suddenly don't think this card is that great. I think that this card might not be that great. Maybe there's some miracle work can be done in Paladin. Man, whatever. Who gives a shit? Let's go to the next one. Nerubian Lotheb impersonator. Qualifox is it's a dead card late. Yep, totally. But, yeah, it's fine. Nerubian Unraveler. This, I think, is good. I mean, it's a worse Loatheb because it is more expensive than Loatheb. And Loatheb has a very sharp +5 cost. This does have a counterable stat line. Like, you play the 5/5 and it can just get shot. Yeah, actually, I don't think this card is very good. Which surprises me to say. I think it would need to be like spells cost 3 more or 4 more. See, Loatheb was so good. Like a 5/5 for 5 is already great. Like, it's actually pretty fine. Like, when you play Elise and she's a 5/5 for 5, you're just like, yeah. That's a great point. Vanita says, doesn't hand buff Paladin only run like 4 spells? This could be an interesting ad in there. Yeah, it's so hard for me to see how this fits in. Because Loatheb, it was clear, right? It was like, I have control of the board, and I want to win next turn. Boom! Throw down the Loatheb. You can't clear this board. Gotcha. Maybe this is a good high-end card on aggro decks. You, boom, throw this down. They can't clear. The effect is quite brutal. Okay, here's how I'm going to evaluate this. All the situations in which Loatheb was amazing, I think this card is not amazing. So I don't necessarily think, like, this is as huge as, oh, the mage wants to kill me next turn. Well, boom, I get to throw this down, and he guaranteed can't kill me this turn. You know, if Nerubian Unraveler's down, your opponent can still Fireball and Frostbolt for a pretty significant amount of mana. Or for a pretty significant amount of damage at 9. But, so I think that a lot of the Loatheb situations don't really apply here. But if I'm thinking, like, okay, I'm a deck and I'm going to try to curve out, right? And I'm, like, building a board, and then bam, I throw down a Nerubian Unraveler. I mean, screw trying to prevent the Mage OTK. I mean, you're preventing the Mage clear. It doesn't seem like it will shut down like Loatheb does. It seems like it will just administer a little pain. I think it is okay. This is the okayest card. Stretch. Oh. All right, shitty Loatheb. See you later. Prince Kelitheth. This is Prince Kelitheth. Hope none of the princes have lisps. What's wrong with you? I can't say because of what's wrong with me. If your deck has no 2-cost cards, give all minions in your deck 1/1. I mean, I think my intuition on this one is that it is absolutely unplayably bad. Trying to think. Could maybe work with Shaman. Like, there's no super critical... No, yeah, there is. I think Maelstrom Portal and Jade Claws are very important. There's a lot of 2-cost cards that are great. Like, okay, Ramp Druid, Wild Growth, Wrath. What about hand buff style decks? You know, exploring those archetypes? No. No, those are going to have a shitload of 2-cost things. Because that's the whole point of the hand buff, is to like buff them up and then throw them down. Cheaper cards. I mean, if it was no 2-cost minions, maybe it would work. Maybe it would work great with Shaman, but Shaman kind of needs to build that board early. But also, who even needs +1/+1? You know, the Mist Caller that was like, you know, play me, give all minions in your deck a boost. I don't know, I thought it was very weak. If your deck has no 3-cost cards, transform into a 3/3 copy of a minion. Wow, I don't even know what to think about this one. This is a very weird card. Because it's a 3/3 copy of a minion, which means that it is targeted. So if he plays Ysera and I have no 3-cost cards, I can, like, you know, become a Ysera. I think that Prince Taldaram is bad. I think that it's bad. I think it's absolutely terrible, baby, now. Is there any... There could be a significant death rattle thing. Well, here's a weird thought. Here's a weird ass thought, okay? What if we're late in the game and we bang out a Prince Taldaram, right? We have no more 3-cost cards in our deck, so boom. That might be interesting. Because, okay, so this guy, if your deck has no 2-cost cards, give all minions in your deck +1/+1. Great. The earlier you play this, the better. So that way you can get benefit from the +1/+1. Do you ever want to play this early? After sacrificing my 2-mana cards? Vomit, 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 vomit. Prince Taldaram? I mean, you could put this in and have 3 drops in your deck and then wait until the very end. Patrick Jerem says, is it worth running instead of Faceless Manipulator? That's what I'm trying to evaluate. Is it like... Faceless Manipulator is actually pretty tight. It's one of my favorite cards in the entire game. I mean, you could go like Malagos, Innervate, Prince Taldaram, Concede. All right, I don't know. So is this all the ones? Great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring over the cards we were looking at today, because these cards are super interesting. Super, super, super ultra interesting. Look at this card. Spreading Plague. Summon a 1/5 Scarab with Taunt. If your opponent has more minions, cast this again. Isn't this a cool-ass design? I just think this is so great. Because this is a good run one of. I think this is a great run one of. Because, I mean, this is the sort of card that, I mean, it's like heal for a crap load, which is really nice. I mean, I think that you could just... Yeah, it's just a total blowout against a lot of aggro decks. Well, I don't want to say blowout. It's strong. It slows the game down a lot. 1/5s don't do anything very active, but that is a lot of health. You know, I think this card is a solid one of in some decks sometime. It seems very good in Jade Druids. you know, Jade decks can sometimes struggle with aggro, and you can kind of delay, and you're starting not to stabilize. Bam, throw down a Spreading Plague, and there you go. Doxy says, why do you think they went with this wording over for every enemy minion like Unleash? Why do I think they went with this wording? Well, I mean, simply put, it's doing very literally different things. So they will trigger in the same, or things will trigger in different orders. So, you know, like if there is a I'm trying to think of an example, but I mean, the fact that it's summon one, summon one, summon one, summon one, summon one is different than all of them summon at the same time. So there's like different effects. You know, like I don't know. I can't think of an example because I need to use a restroom and it's distracting me. Talk asked the important question. Wait, how do these work with on-cast effects or Yogg counts? Oh, that's a great example. If there is something that triggers when your opponent casts a spell, it would cast once with Unleash the Hounds, and it would cast multiple times with the Spreading Plague. There it is. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Whoa. So yeah, I think that this is a really interesting and useful defensive card. This card, I think, was one of the most interesting cards that's been released. I have no clue. I don't know. I, Sean Plot, do not know. What is this card? It's a 3-mana 3/2. Bad stat line. Very bad stat line. No 2 stat lines. Your opponent's spells cost 1 more. Maybe that's good enough. Honestly, the stat line is so heinous. If this was 2 mana, that would interest the shit out of me. It could be useful as like a turn 4 or 5 play, where on turn 4 you play this, and then you do something else, like cast a spell, and you have more momentum that comes. I think it just dies too easily. Just dies too easily. City Fire says, what 3 and 4 mana spells are worth denying to your opponent? Consecration. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't seem amazing on turn 3. It doesn't seem amazing on turn 3. Maybe on turn like 5, 6, something like that. Because I can completely imagine saying something like, okay, well, let me throw down 2 of these, and my shaman opponent is overloaded, so now he can no longer cast Lightning Storm. I can imagine that. Oh, yeah. Awesome. I mean, Frostlich Jaina has a similar reaction to me as Stegodragon. What was his name? Stegodragon. Sindragosa, right? 8 mana, 8/8, great body, gets 2 0/1 Frozen Champions, and each of them adds a random legendary to your hand. Yeah, Sindragosa's awesome, but does Mage really need the help? I mean, this card, it gives you 5 more armor, it summons a water elemental, it gives all your elementals lifesteal, and the hero power reads, deal 1 damage if it kills that minion, summon a water elemental. I want to repeat that again. The hero power for this is still deal 1 damage, it's still ping, but if you kill an enemy, it summons a 3/6 water elemental. Isn't that insane? That's not insane! I mean, that's amazing. But, however, note, remember, recall, please keep in mind that, does Mage really need it? Does Mage really need it? Because here's what this card does. Once Frostlich Jaina is out, you're just going to begin slowly summoning water elementals. You're not going to get one a turn. There's conditions to it. But it's like the glacier moving in, slowly killing you, right? You try to push back, but there's going to be continual healing. There's going to be continual 3/6 water elementals. It's good, right? That is everything I've said is positive. But most mages right now are relying on just blasting you in the face, having very nice flex cards like Firelands Portal. I'm going to apply some pressure to you early on with Mana Worms. Arcanologist, I'm playing to draw the secrets, but now I'm just going to begin poking you in the face. Look, everything's going great. And, oh, you summoned a thing, bam, blow it up with a Firelands Portal and start going for face. The thing that is really nice about this, in contrast to some of the current mage decks, is, one, maybe the current mage decks are going to start getting blown out of the water by all the other cards that are introduced. Maybe the burn control mage that is so popular these days, maybe that one will slowly fade away just due to the existence of some cards. Right now, I would call it is the dominant thing. But what's nice about Frostlich Jaina is that she can be a one-card finisher. You literally, in your deck, can have 29 delay, control, like slow down cards. You can do that. You can have 29 control cards, and then you draw Frostlich Jaina, and then you slowly grind your opponent. That's cool. That's very cool to me. Hearthstone has really never been a one-card finisher game. Really, really never. Never, ever has it ever. The closest thing that I can envision to a one-card finisher is Shadow Form, which is like you get 2 Shadow Forms up, and this is how we're winning this game, is by pinging you a lot. Everything else can be defensive and control-y, and then I have these 2 cards that are focused on getting shitloads of value. Saber says Sulfuros. Again, Sulfuros requires all these taunt cards to be in the deck. It requires a certain structure. N'Zoth requires all the death rattles in the front. Sausage Person, Jaraxxus. That's a really great example. Jaraxxus is a beautiful example of this. You can be very control-y and then get Jaraxxus, and then you're going to keep summoning big things. Jaraxxus is a perfect example. Patrick Jerem says, Yogg, you monster! That's sort of what I mean by what interests me about this, is that it can behave like a one-card finisher. It's not... Angel Horus says, I think you're overvaluing this card by itself. I don't see how this card would ever win by itself, so could you elaborate a little? Yeah, it's the fact that I'm using up 1 card slot in my deck, and when I get Frostlich Jaina, I'm just slowly summoning 3/6 water elementals. Not one a turn, but slowly playing more, restoring my own health, and getting a lot of value and momentum out of that. So it's sort of like Jaraxxus. Jaraxxus is a little better of an example of a one-card finisher. You can play Jaraxxus, and of course you're going to be using other cards to do things, but you get a 6/6 every turn, 6/6 every turn, 6/6 every turn. Jay Falsty puts it beautifully. It's not that you win immediately, it's that you win eventually with this card. That's kind of what I mean by the one-card finisher. It's not that it is a finisher does not mean this is the end of the game now. It means this is the way that I end the game. And by the way, I saw exactly how this hero power works. I'll repeat it again because I don't think I even have a photo for that. Hero power is deal 1 damage. If this kills the minion, summon a 3/6 elemental. Yeah, finisher is a term taken from Magic and other card games, but primarily Magic, since that's the big OG card game. And in Magic the Gathering, you'd have a card like Gristlebrand, who's like this 8 mana card that's, you know, flying with lifelink. And it's pay 7 life to draw 7 cards. So you just delay until you can get your Gristlebrand out, and then you just shit on him. Prince Valinar, if your deck has no 4-cost cards, gain Lifesteal and Taunt. Oh my god, Peter Noteboom. You've been pacing this, and for some reason it only just occurred to me. If you Blood of the Ancient one, and then Innervate, and then Prince Taldaron, you can get a Blood of the Ancient one. Prince Valinar. I mean, I think all the princes are actually just bad. Maybe I'm just going to be totally wrong on princes, man. I think all these prince cards are bad. Oh my god, it's hard to be a prince in the Knights of the Frozen Throne. You know what I'm saying? It's a rough life. You've been pampered since you were a baby, and they're like, and your gift is that if there's no one else that costs 4, then you are slightly above average. Like, let's be honest, okay? We got a 4-mana, 3/5 with Taunt, the Sen'jin Shieldmaster. Would I rather have a Sen'jin Shieldmaster or Prince Valinar? And I'm assuming Prince Valinar always gets this combo off. Oh my god. Oh my god. Guys, Angel Horde just did something brilliant. Oh my god, where are you? Where are you? Guys, listen. If your deck has no 2-cost cards, give all minions in your deck +1/+1. What if you were able to bounce and play this card multiple times? Think about it, man. You just Shadow Step, you play it, Shadow Step, play it. Can't run Eviscerates. That's no good. It's alright. It's alright. You don't need Eviscerates, right? You got some good weapons now. That's neat. Bounce with what? It's got to be just Shadow Steps or Big Brewmasters. Yeah, you can't use the other 2 bouncers because Youthful Brewmaster and the Gadgetzan Ferryman are 2 mana. Interesting. Anyways, coming on back. Yeah, this card, I think, is going to suffer the fate of most princes and fade into obscurity. Only to be married off to like his second cousin or something weird like that. This is the best card in the game. Look at this art. Look how happy he is. Look at the sheer happiness on this penguin. This penguin is having a great time. Like look at the other art. Everyone's like going to battle. Like, look at this. He's got a glowing staff, right? It looks like a broom that's being empowered, and you can't tell if the sky is shattering or not, but he's getting ready to fucking wreck shit. Look at this. Jaina's holding a sword, or Arthas had some amazing plastic surgery done. She's ready for battle, man. She's ready to go. Look at this. She's clearly casting some kind of violent spell. You know what the penguin's doing? It's having a blast. He has fashioned a piece of ice into something skateboard or snowboard-like, and he's waving to the camera as he rides into the sunset. Look at this penguin. I love this penguin, man. I want to actually get a poster of this penguin and just put it on the ceiling above my bed. So if I have bad dreams, I just look up and the penguin's like, hey, I'm just still surfing. It's awesome. Woo! Snowboarding, surfing ass penguin, man. Look, he's a snow flipper penguin. His name is so long it takes up the entire name tag. I want to see the gold version of this. I want to put 2 gold Snow Flipper Penguins in every deck I run. God. I love this penguin. This penguin's great. There's an interesting point that was brought up by Matt Place that the Snow Flipper Penguin is a 0-mana 1/1. Therefore, for many Discover effects, he is very valuable because you can utilize him right away. You have a Jeweled Macaw, adds a random beast to your hand. All right, well, turn 4, Snow Flipper Penguin, Houndmaster. Instant combo, very nice. There are a few ultra aggro Face Hunter builds of yore that could benefit from having the 0-mana Snow Flipper Penguin just to get a little extra oomph in there. The Tiny Fin, the Murloc Tiny Fin, was particularly effective in Paladins as a result, being able to just trigger the Steward of Darkshire or just wait until you can play the Murloc War Leader and boom, run that out. But also, if you have Zombeast, you play that, and if you use Snow Flipper Penguin as one of the ingredients for Zombeast. Zombeast, by the way, is the Hunter hero power when you play the Hunter Death Knight. When you do that, replace your hero power with Stitch 2 beasts together and combine their abilities. Man, you get the Snow Flipper Penguin. It's just a 0-mana +1/+1. God, he's in such a great mood. This card right here, man. This card right here. This is on curve. So good, so sweet. Unbelievable, man. Wow. What a guy. Eternal Servitude. Holy moly. I mean, the obvious dream is Injured Blademaster, Eternal Servitude, Onyx Bishop. I think that you can just run super typical, no, fanciness, just solid cards. You can get Resurrects on the Injured Blademaster. You can get Resurrects on Lyra. Runestone92 says, this would not trigger Battle Cries, correct? That's correct. Play is to play something from your hand onto the board, and Battle Cries trigger when you play things. Summon is just, this thing is on the board now. So when you play a card, one of the effects of playing it is summoning the creature. So, in terms of super semantics, it's that a play is a battle cry and then a summon. A pull is a fetch and a merge. So I think this is great. This is a great value card. It's nice for Amara decks to summon additional death rattles that are actually flexible. Because that's one thing I really don't like about Amara decks right now is I got to put in garbage ass. I have to put in the least bad cards that I can find. But if I could just have the oh god, what is the 4/3 death rattle? Put a copy of an enemy thing into your hand. He's an orange tar cloud. Orange tar cloud 4/3 man. What the hell is that called? Who's orange like shadow orange tar man? Shifting tar shit. Shifting shade, there it is. Orange tar dick. Yeah, no, it's shifting shade, there it is. Shifting shade. Yeah, I could play 2 shifting shades. Eternal Servitude to get 2 shifting shades back, right? Those are actually value cards. I don't like Crystalline Oracle. Crystalline Oracle is the 1/1 death rattle, put a thing in your opponent's deck into your hand. I hate it. I hate that card in Priest so much. Fucking tight. Tight. Sick, dope, boss. Let me tell you, I think there is a Control Rogue archetype that involves weapons. I really truly think here's a deck that I really want to build. Let me actually cut ahead a little bit to no, I don't even need to do it. Where is this card? Here is the card. La 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 la. My name's Sean and I fucked up. Where is it? There it is. Give your weapon lifesteal. Boom. Boom, brr, doom. Brr. Leeching Poisson. With Leeching Poison, you get your weapon lifesteal. With weapons like this, you are preventing life loss. You could even lifesteal this, but again, most importantly, you can prevent life loss. And think if you had like double Assassin's Blade, double Shadow Blade, double Deadly Poison. Oh, my coffee! You had the double lifesteal card in there. And imagine if you had 2 Shadow Steps, 2 Blade of Cthuns, and Cthulhu. Everything else in your deck was support, control, board clear, delay. Right? I mean, a lot of control-y slow decks don't work in Rogue because they don't have any life gain. They don't have any life gain. But now, they have life gain. They have immunity. So you could begin clearing the shit out of this board. You got 2 Vile Spine Slayers. You got 2 Shadow Steps. Probably wouldn't run Gadgets and Auctioneers. Maybe just run Sprints and Preparations, right? Draw deep into your deck, and then just start clearing huge things with your Vile Spine Slayers, clearing huge things with your Blade of Cthuns, clearing middle-ish things with your weapons. I'm excited by this card. It could just turn out that it's simply not valuable enough. But a 3-mana 3/2 weapon, I'm pretty damn happy to run in any deck. You know, there's even Paladin decks where I would run 1 Rallying Blade with really no Divine Shields, just because it's so effective to have a 3-mana thing. Now, who needs a Violet Illusionist for hero immunity when you can play the Shadow Blade and then the Cold Light Oracle and then the Cold Light Oracle and then Shadow Step the Cold Light Oracle and then play the Cold Light Oracle, all while immune? Think about it. This is cool. This is a cool card. I'm really excited by this card. Cryostasis. You heard me guys talk about this a little bit earlier. This is your Swiss Army knife ability. I can shut down your side. Yeah, I can shut down your side for 1 turn and maybe blow you out next turn with a Bloodlust. Or I could buff a Tar Creeper, get a little huger, and then get in there. And there's so many weird freeze effects. I talked about this a little earlier, but, you know. Look at this. Look at Marabi. Mabooby. Who I heard he kind of has like an Arnold Schwarzenegger type voice. I'm really excited to hear that. I mean, anytime I see art that looks like, you know, the Witch Doctor from Diablo, that's like what I hear. I hear the little frogs like the weird noise he makes. That's all that's in my head. Dude, troll head hunters. Somebody call for the doctor. Witch Doctors. War 3-man. Whenever another minion is frozen, add a copy of it to your hand. Now, get this. Okay, listen. There's a lot of freeze effects, right? We already talked a little bit about this, but we're going to bring it back up. Or we're not. We're going to go into the wrong direction because Day 9 only gets there eventually. Look at this. Voodoo Hex or Taunt freeze any character damaged by this minion. Damn. Damn. Okay, note that someone's frozen. All right, you freeze them. Before you freeze them, boom, run out Marabi, sucking copies into your hand. I need more card draw. I'll card draw whatever I damn well need. All right, I cryostasis one of my dudes. I get another copy of him. You could Marabi, cryostasis him. He's now a 7/7. He's frozen, and you get a copy of Marabi into your hand. Inter-fucking-esting, man. I think any card that generates another card in your hand, it's pretty cool. I think that they are. Oh, whenever another minion is frozen. Guys, you can't get another Marabi into your hand. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? Now, there's interesting synergies that this has anyways, such as with the thing that we just saw, this Voodoo Hexer here. But also there is the, I can't remember what the name of him is. I think Frozen Crusher. It's a 5-mana 8/8. After this attacks, freeze it. You play that on turn 5. You play Marabi on turn 6. You attack. You get an 8/8 back into your hand. The weird thing about freezing and self-freezing and enemy freezing is that it just leads to like spike of action this turn, lull of action, spike of action, lull of action, which I guess is thematic with Shaman who use Overload, right? Where you have like spend all my mana this turn, I have no mana on the next turn. Spend all my mana again, I'm all overloaded. Oh, it's a 6-mana 8/8. Damn. Whatever, it's fine. So this is interesting to me. I mean, this screams, damn it, we're trying to make a freeze shaman work, and I have no baseline for understanding how freeze shaman works. I have none. I do not know how freeze shaman works. I don't know, man. I confidently don't have a clue, dude. So who knows? I don't know. This could be good. I'm going to assume that it is good. Outside of a freeze deck, it's obvious that this thing is garbage. This sucks outside of a freeze deck. So really the question is, how good is a freeze deck? And I don't know. So there you go. My favorite card of the entire reveal cycle. My favorite card of the entire reveal cycle. My favorite card of the entire reveal cycle. Deal 1 damage to all minions. If any die, cast it again. Now, notice how this works. If he has a 1/1, a 1/1, and a 3/3, then you cast Defile. It will kill each of the 1/1s. Say, hey, any minion died, and it will cast it again, and then it will stop, leaving the 3/1 alive. So it's not cast once per unit that dies. It's cast once, and if anyone died during that cast, then do it again. So you'd need a 1, a 2, and a 3 in order for this to go off. Now, Dreadsteed got changed. Instead of Death Rattle, summon a Dreadsteed. They changed to Death Rattle at the end of your turn, summon a Dreadsteed. Ow. The thing that's amazing about this is, imagine if you have Blood Mage Thalnos. You could cast this, and it deals 2 damage. And then I think it still goes 1 damage, 1 damage. But, oh, this is a good point that's brought up. It says, don't forget the Prince for 3 that lets you make a 3/3 copy of Marabi's. You could theoretically make copies of him to freeze and create more of him. Interesting. That's an interesting point. Big Sasquatch says, oh, so the recast only hit for 1 damage? I believe that is correct, because it casts, and when there is a cast that happens, it resolves. Right? The only way that any minion dies is if the full spell effect resolves. So it would be like, deal 1 damage, spell's done, let him die. Oh, someone died? Let's do a brand new spell, cast, resolve, go. I don't know if you heard me. I was a little far away from the microphone. Because like a spell like Bouncing Blade, actually Bouncing Blade's a weird example. Yeah, so Thalnos would die if you played Thalnos. So it would deal 2 damage, then 1 damage, and then 1 damage. So, all right, okay. Dead Man's Hand. Oh, yeah. Oh, the Dead Man's Hand now, baby, yeah. I would like to note very strongly, strictly, clearly, for the record, this is on my all-star list for this set. Just so you know who's made the all-star list, I'll come back to this. But on the all-star list as definite amazingers, Bear Shark on the all-star list. Absolute all-star. Just insane. This card is insane. What else is on the all-star list? I mean, this card is insane. I just don't know if it's that necessary. because mages are doing great, but I'm still going to put it on my all-star list because it's nice. I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I think Light Sorrow is so good. I think this so, but no, probably not. I want to put my definite, absolutely amazing all-star list compilation. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think this is my only ones, right? Is like Sindragosa and the Bear Shark. Dude, I can't believe it's done this. Come on, show me this. Oh, the 1/1 sack for Warlock. Yes, that's the other all-star. That's total all-star. The Sanguine Snatcher, whatever it is. But the Penguin, yeah, the Penguin's the all-star. This is insane, okay? This is absolutely ridiculous. This is ridiculously powerful. Because if you are a warrior... Okay, so here's my opinion on Control Warrior. I am not a veteran, seasoned Control Warrior player. I don't even think I'm at 500 wins with Warrior. I just don't play them that much. But obviously, I've played Hearthstone for a long time, and I've played against a lot of Control Warriors, and I think this is an unbelievable Control Warrior card. Because if you're a Control Warrior, there's a balance that you have to strike with the construction. You need enough weapons to be able to deal damage, and you need the removals like your shield slams, like your executes. You want card draw because warriors don't really have the best card draw. I mean, shield block, I feel like represents everything that the Control Warrior is. You're drawing cards kind of slow, you're drawing one, and you're just trying to delay. Delay with armor, delay. So all the delay and draw and removal and the brawls and things like this, that takes up a huge amount of space in Warrior, not just because you need to have a lot of those in order to stay alive in Hearthstone anyways, but also Warrior is drawing so much more slowly than other control decks that you need to make sure that you have duplicates in case you haven't drawn the card you need yet. And a lot of the ways that you wind up avoiding dying is just by armoring up. And now that Tank Up is not there, now that Justicar is not there, it's been really hard for Control Warriors. They just don't have enough of a way to delay it until they get the shit that they need. And, you know, if you've looked at historical Control Warrior decks, you see like a lot of removal, weapon, clear, armor gain. These are the delay cards. Then you have some, I'm going to call them the big-ish cards. These are like Shield Maiden. Gains armor, is a body, takes up one slot, is efficient. Or whatever the Cthulhu guy was, that if your Cthulhu has more than 10/10, gain 10 armor. And it was a 7-mana 6/6. Takes up one slot. It's nice, right? And then you'd have just a handful of finishers. So what I think is so cool about Dead Man's Hand is that this allows you to draw a shitload more than you normally would. Like a lot more than you normally would. You have extra whirlwind effect thanks to this brand new weapon that warriors are going to be getting. That's almost certainly going to be very far away from my scroll list. Come on. Wow, it was literally the last one. Yeah, you have more activators for your Acolyte. You can get more consistent draw. You can dig super deep and know that whenever you get to the end, you only need something like 2 finishers. You only need like 2 finishers. Why? Because they're in your hand. You have 2 Dead Man's Hand and 2 finishers. 2 big, scary threats. You just Dead Man's Hand to put the finisher, another Dead Man's Hand, and the finisher back into your deck. Draw a little bit more. Do the same thing again. Draw a little bit more. Do the same thing again. Draw a little bit more. Do the same thing again. You could do such combos as infinite N'Zoths. I mean, it's basically the Jade Idol version for Warrior, except the warrior is allowed to focus exclusively on drawing and delaying and clearing, and can be way more focused on the drawing. And I think that's really interesting. I think that's really, really cool. Now, the place where this analysis might be totally wrong is that maybe warriors just simply still don't have enough staying power to stay alive. Maybe they just don't have enough staying power. So this pipe dream I have of getting down to your last few cards and just jamming Dead Man's Hands in there endlessly, maybe that's just dumb. Maybe that's just straight up not so bright. I just think that this is I think this is remarkable because it demands almost no other card slots. Like Jade Idol, I'll bring up. I think Jade Idol is very good when you have no more cards in your hand, right? Or no more cards in your deck. You just keep putting Jade Idols in there and keep drawing them, right? I mean, you know how the card works, and I'm explaining it to you. If you've made it into this like 2-hour card review, then you probably know how a Jade Idol works. But the rest of the Druid deck is made up of a lot of Jade cards. Like a way that Jade Idol... Let me rephrase how I'm saying this. What makes Jade Idol scary is two things being true. One, you never go into fatigue, and your Jade Idols will keep getting bigger. But for it to be threatening, your Jade Idols have to also be big. And remember, the middle finger is the important one. Your Jade Idols have to be big. If they're not big, it's just not that big of a threat. For example, when I first tried to make some cutesy Gadgets and Auctioneer Jade Idol decks, what I did was I put in 2 Gadgets and Auctioneers, 1 Jade Idol, and all the rest of the deck was delay. It was a Miracle Jade Idol deck. And the thought was, I will go through my whole deck until I'm at the very end, and then I'm going to begin summoning these Jade Idols. But you know what happened? I got to the end, and then I had to summon a 1/1, and then a 2/2, and then a 3/3, and then a 4/4, and then a 5/5, and then a 6/6, and then okay, finally, once I start to get to 6/6s and 7/7s, I was feeling good. So in other words, I kind of delayed, so I felt like I was in control, and then I was out of cards, and my Jade Idols were small, and then my Jade Idol card finally began to kick into gear. So there's actually a dip once I got to the end of the deck. And so current Jade Golem decks for Druid have a shitload of Jade cards in there. So that way the Jades are constantly growing. So by the time you get to the end, it's not just that there's infinite Jade Golems, it's that the Jade Idols... Excuse me, it's not just that there's infinite Jade Idols, it's that the Jade Golems are huge already. Does that make sense? And so when I look at Dead Man's Hand, you don't need to devote resources, aka card slots, to building up the Jade Golems throughout the game. If you just put in something like Grommash or N'Zoth and 1 significant death rattle, like if you just put in a Cairn, a N'Zoth, and 1 other significant death rattler, you could, in theory, delay, and then boom, you summon N'Zoth. If you summon N'Zoth in 1 Cairn, that's a very threatening board immediately. Immediately, that's a threatening board. And then, okay, they clear, and the next turn, N'Zoth 2 Cairns. It's like the growth rate that happens from repeated finishers in a warrior deck spikes a lot harder than Jade Golems. So I hope I made that point sufficiently clear. Clearly. I think it's an important reason why I'm so vibrating with excitement about Dead Man's Hand. Because it really makes me think that Control Warrior can build around having 2 of these and an incredibly tiny amount of finishers. Also, you can do some fatigue. Did I do it? Did I cover everything? I did it, guys. I did it. Now, I gotta say, I was intending on streaming until around 3:30, but I gotta be very honest with you. My voice is so dry. My throat is so dry. I feel like I am swallowing a desert. So I think I'm actually just gonna call it a day for now. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna call it. It was a very, very busy week. Did a whole lot of interesting, awesome action this week. Little flying, little traveling. I'll hang around for a few minutes and happily answer any questions. Also, I gotta be honest. Part of the reason why I'm leaving a little early, I want to go say hi to my mom, who's currently at home sick, and she lives nearby here. So I'll try to see if I can work that in before I have to go to the airport in a few hours. Any big disagreements or interesting different perspectives you have? I'm in a good mood to discuss this sort of thing. Ooh, from Angel Horse says, do you think there could be some funk-ass combo with Fluffy, Fire Warrior, and Grommash? Maybe some weird OTK Warrior. I feel like Warriors don't have enough damage to be able to do OTKs. They kind of have to rely on like charge and shit. So I don't know. I think Fluffy Fire Warrior sucks. I think it sucks. I think it's bad. I don't know. When looking at these, the thing that's really okay, here's true facts about combo decks with Day 9 TV. One of the greatest benefits about a combo deck is that it's easy to think about. It's so easy to think about. Let's, for instance, take a very easy to think about combo. The Time Warp OTK. For any of you who don't know, Time Warp is the Mage Quest or the spell from the Mage Quest that says take a turn after this one. So what do? You play some Sorcerer's Apprentices. You play Antonidas. Infinite Fireballs. Got him. The reason I say this is easy to think about is you have a clear, exact moment at which you win. You just blow them up with 2 Sorcerer's Apprentices, 2 Molten Reflections, Antonidas. Right? These are the only 5 cards you need. And therefore, the other 25, you also have a clear direction with. Do whatever you can to stay alive. Right? It's super, 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 super clear. And these make it easy for me to think about. So if I'm doing like a 6-card combo that I just win with that, 24 cards left in the deck. Help me stay alive till I get those 6, right? It's so clear. This is one of the reasons why I like combo decks is because, frankly, they're easy decks to think about. They're not necessarily good. I'm not necessarily good at building them, but I can reason about them more easily. Now, if it's something like a mid-range deck, mid-range decks do not have here's the 3 cards that just snap the necks of the enemies, right? It doesn't work that way. It's like you get a little value from these first, a little more value from these later, and here's 8 different ways that possible synergies can emerge if I draw this 4-drop versus that 4-drop, when I have played this 3-drop versus that 3-drop. There's a lot of interconnectedness to consider that makes it hard for me to reason about, because I'm just not as experienced a deck builder as someone like Reynad or Kibler or Trump. But when I'm looking at these decks, I'm looking at these cards, I feel like I don't have the skill to think about the anchors of the deck building right now. Obviously, I'm just going to brute force my way into some understanding when it releases, but like, Quest Rogue has a clear goal and a clear play style. Yeah, the Exodia Mage has a clear goal and a clear play style. And I'm really fascinated by how, like, Freeze Shaman, how's that going to work? Well, there's not going to be huge bursty combos. It's not like Doppelganger Evolve. Ooh, that was a huge thing. So I just don't really know exactly how the archetypes are going to play out. I don't really know. It appears to be the case that there will be a lot of, like, bursty moments in there, but not huge things. It's like here's a way to chip some value with some clever decision making. So I'm excited. Tuber16 says mid-range is about winning each turn. Combo is about staying alive to drop a nuke. But see, that's the thing. That's what makes mid-range so much harder for me to reason about, is that statement, mid-range is about winning each turn. Though it is, or whether that statement is true or not, it doesn't help me think about my deck more, right? Because I have to answer the question like, how do I get in good shape on turn 1 and 2 with this toolbox? Now, what can I play on turn 3 that would plug into the cards from turn 1 and 2 to allow me to begin to build that presence? This is a much more complex question for me than these 6 cards nuke and end the game. These 24 cards just delay, right? It's like so much simpler, my evaluation process. All right, let's just do 2 more questions because I'm tired. Dude, look at my arm hair. It's like literally a tree line. It's like here is where I'm hairy, and here is where I am not. Will Zoo or Egglock make a comeback? Probably Zoo. Day Bear Shark. I think mid-range hunter is going to be fucking amazing. Bear Shark. Look out, it's a bear shark. What deck are you most interested in trying? Control Rogue. Control Rogue, for sure. Bear Shark is so sick. I think mid-range hunter is going to be fucking insane. T. Bruce's control simple too. Delete all their cards before you run out of cards. Yeah, I find control also easier to construct because I understand that my goal is to delay to my finishers. Oh, Control Warrior. I want to try Control Warrior. Toaster MWO says, do you think Frostlich Jaina would make an elemental grinder mage viable with the addition of reliable healing for mage? Maybe. I think the problem of trying to build the rest of the deck too elementally is the fact that you might not draw Jaina till deep into the game. That's the danger for super duper duper ultra sure. I'm trying to think of an example from other decks I've done. Nope, not going to do it, guys. I'm leaving you. Hey, thank you for joining me. Thanks to Blizzard for helping set this up for me. I suddenly turned very orange. Feels good to be orange. I like being an orange person. I'm turning it off. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you on Monday for mostly walking. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm just going straight into the TI7 hype. I just look forward to admiring how good these players are. Because every time I watch a pro do something cool in a game, it makes me feel cool by association. So I'm really looking forward to admiring them and hopefully doing a good job at hosting. Hope I do the Dota community proud. And then Brood War HD is coming out 14th. Oh. Right after Brood War HD launches, like the following day or the day after, I'm going to drop the announcement of exactly what the dates of all of my Brood War content is going to be. Quite a lot. About 10 weeks. 10 weeks of shows planned for Brood War. There's your tease. 10 weeks of shows, man. At least. That's what I have. That's what I have written up right now. I want them to be really high quality. I want them to be really good, fucking excellent, high quality things. And then Knights of the Wrath of the Lich King, the card game edition. I don't know when it's coming out. I think mid-August they said, so I don't know when mid-August is. I'm going to assume if we take the diff between August 15th and the release date, it'll be small. So, I mean, that's pretty packed because, you know, TI is the 7th of August to the 12th of August. I'm flying home on the 13th. I'm doing the Brood War on the 14th. And it would be really nice. Hey, Hearthstone, if any developers are watching, it would be helpful for me if you released on August 17th. Works really good for me. Works really good. It's a Thursday. I'll have a few days to binge on Brood War. I'll be back from the International. I know that you are a multi-billion-dollar corporation that does not answer to the whims of some balding fuckman, but the 17th is super good for my schedule. I would love that. 17th is good. If that doesn't work, let me look at the calendar. 21st is good. Monday would work. August 21st, that's fine. 24th, that's kind of pushing it. I'd like not to have it on the 24th. If you can work it before the 24th, that would work great for me. If you release it before the 14th, I won't be able to play. And I'm going to do that. You don't want me to do that. So let's go ahead and let's push it to the 17th if we can. That works for me. 16th is fine too. That's fine. I mean, I'm going to be sort of twinkling from TI7 still. I sort of committed to a Dota show, but that's fine. I could wake up and play it on the 17th. If it releases on the 16th, that's fine. I'm going to go find the suggestion box here on Blizzard campus. I'm going to drop that in there. There we go. Bye, guys.